Hey there, record loving friend. Nice to see you. I am popping on for an impromptu stream. It's Wednesday night here in Japan, and it is the official final day of Golden Week. Golden Week is the string of holidays that comes in May, the beginning of May, and kind of follows the busy time of like the sakura trees and everything's kind of calmed down a little bit, and you've worked for a good straight month, and it's time for a little break. So yes, happy to be here. This could be a very abbreviated stream. We're going to find out. Yeah, the kids are back in school and starting tomorrow morning, and yeah, it's back to work and all that stuff. So, did you guys have a nice Golden Week? Anybody out there in Japan land have a Golden Week? I was we did something kind of interesting this year for Golden Week. I think probably a lot of people go overseas for Golden Week, and they might go to the islands, they might go to Vietnam, they might go to Hawaii, they might go to New York, and but with the yen so in the tank right now, and with the dollar so strong, it's hard to go travel overseas. And so Japanese are opting to visit places like I said, Philippines or Japan, local travel, or go to someplace more affordable. So we laid low this Golden Week holiday, and we just went to Tochigi Prefecture on one day with my daughter, and my son stayed home. He had a plan with his school buddies, and we kind of had this just impromptu trip where the three of us, my daughter and me and my wife, went out, and it was kind of special for her because it was just a fun time that she just got to do with us, which was fun. And then today we did the same thing with my son. My daughter got the dates, they got the house to herself. They're kind of teenagers, so they're ready to have a little bit of time to themselves. So she had a day home while my son, my wife and I and my son went to a really interesting place um, called Soleil. I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce it. Soleil, and it was like a sports camp, outdoor, kind of like amusement park kind of place, but without really, kind of like a little rinky-dink amusement park. But the main exciting part of the park, among other things, is like this big zip line, this huge zip line, which we didn't do. It's like $30, like for a single zip down the zip line. And then there's this like insane, like 6-story structure that's like a ropes course, basically. And it's got this really interesting interlocking harness thing where you're wearing like a like a climbing harness, a safety harness, but it has two little hooks on it, and they won't unhook, they won't unlatch at the same time. One of them is always latched, which was kind of cool. I'd never seen this before. It's kind of brilliant. So you climb up this thing, and there's no ropes, there's no safety netting or anything, and it's kind of terrifying because the kids are up there, and the adults too. They're like way up there, 60, 65, 70 feet, way up there. But they're just on this whole like system of cables that you have to latch onto, and then once you get to a stopping place, you can't take this one off until you latch this onto a safety one, and then this one unlatches, and then you can latch it onto somewhere else. And yeah, I guess it's foolproof. I'm not sure, but it seems pretty cool. Um, and then, oh my God, something kind of crazy happened today. It was like infested, interestingly, infested with hawks, with these like big, giant birds of prey. I mean, they might as well have been like bald eagles. They were enormous and they were just like swarming everywhere. And we had a little picnic, and my wife pulled out a sandwich from the bag, and hawk just flew, giant hawk flew right between us, and just her sandwich disappeared. And then another one came and grabbed my sandwich, and I just like I held on to it before it could get mine. But oh my god, it was kind of terrifying. It was like birds. It was pretty insane. And they were relentless, and you could tell who the locals were because they all had these like little day tents, and the people who were just you know city slickers, we didn't have the day tents, so we were getting attacked by hawks, which was kind of fun and scary and memorable. And but before we left this morning, kind of this plan also came together really quickly. I posted on Tokyo Record Style. I posted on my Instagram, and I posted on my website a new subject. I posted a photo of my friend Michael Warren, who I was very happy to share about an encounter we had some time ago, and then another one this afternoon. My homie Bryce. And it was fun because I did a little gonzo journalism writing about him, a little tribute to Hunter S. Thompson in Fear and Loathing, because my homie Bryce is a lawyer, and yeah, he's my attorney, and my attorney advises me to buy this record. So, um, yeah, just winding down the day and doing what I kind of do every day a little bit these days on the members only chat stream, which is like to do a stream of consciousness kind of ramble. And I don't have mm, any agenda to talk about today other than just like what I did today and maybe some records that are just like here in the now listening to pile. And yeah, so I might even put it out there that if you want to come and hang out, you can, although it's a weird night. My wife is out with her friend. They've gone out for a dinner. It's like the last night of Golden Week. So if she comes back shortly, I'm gonna end the stream abruptly. But I'll just go ahead and do it. I'll go ahead, and so long. I don't really want any troublemakers, but if you don't come on screen and you're like a troublemaker, I'm gonna boot you from the backstage immediately. But if you're like good vibes and want to come hang out, then I'll drop the link. Let me see if I can remember how to do this. Copy invite link. If anybody wants to come up, no, I'm happy to be up here by myself. But if anybody wants to come and hang out for a bit, you're most welcome to. Does this work? Maybe. And I'm like, I haven't used Restream in a long time, so it's a little bit like new to me. Okay, good, it's working. I have a stack of records here that I've procured over the last few days. What's really funny is that I had somebody come on the Tokyo Records shuttle service last weekend, and the funny thing is that when you take some friends out to go record shopping and to show them around, um, you can't not buy a record. You have to. It's like you can't let them drink alone, which is kind of funny. So I end up buying some records that I kind of don't need, but I just feel obliged to buy them. I have a technique when somebody says to me, "Oh, this is so good. You should get this. You should get this. This is so good. This is one of my favorite bands. Get this." And you're like, "I don't want this, but thank you very much." But you're thinking you don't want to be rude and you want to just say like, "Oh, okay. Thanks." What I do is like, "Oh, cool, man. All right. Let me take a picture of that one." And then you get out your phone and you take a pic. Ooh, 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 ooh. You very intentionally take a picture of it and you say, "Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that looks good. I will definitely stream that and come back for it when I'm ready for it," but you do a quick picture of it. Anyway, what was really funny I just mentioned this on the last one that I didn't really get to explain much about. There's not a whole lot to explain about it, but I was having a conversation about Tim Curry and about Rocky Horror Picture Show, and like no sooner than like 5 minutes later, um, I found a record by Tim Curry, and it looks cool. It looks pretty cool. It's got a little bit of that like browning Japanese mold that happens. You hate to see a portrait where the limbs are cut off. It's never a good look. When you photograph people, never cut them off at their elbows or their knees. Don't do that. Cut them off between their elbows or between their hips and their waist. You cut them off in the middle. You don't cut them off on their ankles because it looks like they have no feet. But it's a well exposed photo here. The buildings are in shadow and somehow he's still lit up and he's got backlight. You can say, I'm always looking at this. There's backlight, there's this like halo of light behind him. And if this building's in shadow and this building's in shadow, then technically his face should also be in shadow, but somebody has flipped the light around. You can see this haze coming through here. The light's definitely coming from behind him, but his face is illuminated. So it looks pretty cool. Tim Curry, the famous actor, he did a I saw your message, Rich. Did I say hello yet? Oh, I did. Okay, wait. I thought I saw Richard maybe deleted the message, but nice to see you, Richard's Vinyl Tap House. Nice to see you, dude. Sorry, I was getting to it if I didn't get to it immediately. Yvonne, don't wake up your family. He's saying late in Tokyo. It's 11. It's 11 o'clock. It's 12 o'clock. Yeah. I love how concerned everybody is about my family. It's very endearing. I really appreciate it. Um, Thank you very much. I'm very touched. Everybody's always commenting on me waking up my family, but I always appreciate that. Um, but it's not all that great of a record. What's your favorite Tim Curry character? I kind of loved him as Rooster in Little Orphan Annie. What's funny is that this album's got David Sanborn playing on it. Um, it probably has some other sessions players that I don't know who they are, but you might recognize some of their names. Noel Alfonso on drums, John Siegler on bass. They might be some players on here. But he's got She's Not There. Who is it? She's not there. Da, 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 you know the what of 'em. Da, 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 da. I forget who that is. Um, and then it's got Dancing in the Streets and Summer in the City. And I Put a Spell on You. And I thought, oh, okay, I Put a Spell on You. That ought to be interesting. But it's pretty pedestrian. So Tim Curry, don't quit your day job. I think we lost him. Maybe did we lose Tim Curry? Is he still with us? Anyway, it was a blind buy, and it was kind of fun. Tim Curry's Simplicity from like 81 or something. 81. Nothing really to write home about. We were talking on the Tokyo Record Style Discord about Crossroads, and this was a record that I pulled up. Records that kind of like cross genres or they're cross-pollinated records. And this is Seiyu Georges, who's playing David Bowie songs from Wes Anderson's A Life Aquatic, which I think this is kind of actually, it's a little bootleggy. I'm not totally sure what's going on here, but yeah, it says limited edition. I don't even know if it has a late hollywoodrecords.com. And I see them on Discogs and everybody's got different colors. There's like I don't think anybody's got the same colors, which is a weird thing. Um, but of course he's playing all those Bowie songs from Ziggy Stardust that are sung in like Portuguese on the little like acoustic guitar, kind of got some like bossa nova inspired. And he's like in the movie Steve Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, which has its own soundtrack, which I think was released on Record Store Day a few years ago. But yeah, I don't know if this is like an official release. It must be, but limited run. I think it's kind of I don't know. Maybe a handful of people have done it, but I love this record. It's 4 sides, rebel, rebel. It's just it's so suited for that vocal and guitar accompaniment. It's just him and an acoustic guitar, a classical guitar. It's not the little 4-string Brazilian guitar that they play there. My friend's really good at that instrument, but just the standard acoustic guitar. But Rebel Rebel Life on Mars Star, man. And he sings it in Portuguese, which is really cool. Like, I can't understand what he's singing, but it's so groovy from 2014. I love this movie. I love this movie, and there's one more great. Hold on, where is that record? Um, this one maybe. No, shelf. Where is it? Is it not here? It's that Sigur Rós record. I don't know where it is. It might be over here. That awesome Sigur Rós record that has that. It's called like a Gatus Birajun or something. It's something in some crazy sort of Icelandic um, language, and it has that song Star Feeler or something, which they play in the scene in Life Aquatic in that very, very powerful scene. It's got kind of one of these like Han Solo kind of moments. I was watching Star Wars today, and like there's the Han Solo moment that I'm referring to is when Luke's like in the trenches on the dark Death Star, and you've totally forgotten like Han Solo has abandoned the rebels, and like he comes out of nowhere, and the audience in the 70s must have been like, "Wow, he's back to save the day!" But it's the same sort of zinger that they put in Life Aquatic. You forget the whole reason that they're chasing the jaguar shark is because he's eaten Steve Zissou's best friend Esteban, and that music is so emotional when the little pink fish swim by. I really love that scene. So always good at making great soundtracks and selecting great songs. Wes Anderson and crew. I'm a big kind of fan. And they had the Steve Zissou Adidas. What's that style of Adidas called? I love those. I never got a pair, but I considered buying a pair. I think you could get them. The Steve Zissou signature Adidas, and the red beanies and the sort of Jacques Cousteau look with the hip guns, quite cool. Yeah, those Adidas are cool. What are those called? They have some. I wish I could remember those. So anyway, that was a record that I pulled out for Crossroads for our top five game where we count down. We list up records that are our favorite records on various themes. Let's see here. I see another comment from Yvonne. Hi, Yvonne. What are you saying? New something. New home? News. Okay. Home to something. A new song from Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr. Okay, duet. The closest we can come to getting new Beatles music. Oh, really? That's pretty cool. I didn't know about that. I did hear some Beatles news that they're going to release some Japan thing. There's a Japan like Meet the Beatles. Like they're gonna do like LPs and 7-inches of the Japanese like third or second, or I don't know the chronology, but they did it slightly backwards in the States, and they did it slightly backwards here in Japan too. And I don't remember exactly how it goes, but it's there. Instead of the blue letters, the Japan one has the red letters, and I think I actually have a copy. Maybe let me check. Let's see. Maybe they're doing this one. I think that's the red Japanese one. I don't think my copy's a little roasted, but yeah. Meet the Beatles on Odeon, the red one. So I think they're going to redo this one, and I don't have no idea. OR is OR. Yo, this one's made. This one's Japan too. Maybe it's these two records. I think they're going to release these two records in coming up soon. I doubt these are on. Let's see if they're on Red Wax. Sometimes these old Odeon records are on Red Wax, which are always kind of sexy. Oh, it is. Okay, so it's got this beautiful Toshiba, what do they call it? Super vinyl. And it's really lovely, right? Can I get some reflection on it? Yeah. It's quite nice, eh? I love these red records. I sometimes just buy them because I just like this shade of red's really cool. And yeah, they were meant to be like, virgin vinyl and super high quality vinyl by Toshiba, who I think is the parent company of Odeon. Yeah, Toshiba Musical Industries. So those are kind of cool. That was the news I saw today. I'd like to hear the new Paul McCartney Ringo duet. That sounds like fun. The Boys of Dungeon Lane out on May 29th. Cool. Okay, that sounds like fun. And yes, Yvonne loves red. We know Yvonne loves red. You're the red guy. Let's see if this one is too. This one might be red as well. Not all of them are, but oh, this one's red too. Okay, I'm doing good. Yeah, these are cool. These, I would say, like these used to be really easy to come by. They probably still are, but I mean, I'd see them in book offs for like nothing, like $10 all the time. And I think I think I have a full Beatles collection, but I don't know how many are Japanese pressings. I don't have like doubles and triples. I have a few doubles and triples, but I buy them like thinking that I don't own them when I actually do. Then again, for like crossovers, I pulled out like 2 reggae compilations. I have a nice little reggae collection here, but oldies and goodies from Studio One, which has You Won't See Me, You Won't See Me by the Clarendonians, which is just a killer version. And the Wailers, there's Bob and Peter and Bunny, maybe. I kind of forget I think that's Peter. And they just look so cool. And Lord Creator and Delroy Wilson, the Gay Lads, the Solettes, presenting Jamaican All-Stars Volume 1. This is a great record. And I think they're both from the 60s. This one, yeah, I think they may be like represses. Surely they are. But I think like one's from 66 and the other's from 69 or something. But I asked the Wailers are playing Rolling Stone is the name of the tune, but it's not Bob Dylan's Rolling Stone, like a Rolling Stone, but it is. It's like this weird melody. It's a weird what do they call it? Like, yeah, it's a melody. It has like a Rolling Stone. It has the lyric in it, and it has that vocal, but it's mixed up with another song, which is cool. Calypso, ska, and jump up. Jamaican All-Stars. Yeah, really cool sort of early reggae, rock steady. With the Skatalites, Ken Booth, Delroy Wilson, Jackie Opal, Alton and Eddie, Alton Ellis and Eddie. Who is Eddie? Eddie. Who is Eddie? And then here are some other of the other artists on the album. Let's see. Best of John Drummond, Jackie Me Too, Heptones. That's a great record. What does this have on the back? Yeah, anyway, I pulled these out for the covers that are on here because, again, like we were talking about, crossroads. And I don't know if like covers exactly constitute as like doing a album in a different sort of genre, but that was the idea there. I thought like reggae music is like so far away from the original pop tune that are these Beatles and Dylan tunes that I thought that constituted as a crossover, answer to the crossover prompt, crossroads prompt. And I asked my friend, my guru reggae friend, who runs Cocoa Isle Music Market. What's his name? Kazuki-san. He told me, I said, "Hey, are all those old Beatles like versions of reggae songs, do the Japanese or do the Jamaican guys consider those kind of uncool, and or do they like them?" He said, "Oh man, all reggae versions. All reggae makes an original version better. We love the reggae version, but the reggae version becomes better than original, ma." Oh, I was like, "Oh, okay, okay, I got it." And then for crossover, I had to pull out Deodato from 1976, the year I was born. This one, of course, has the famous, awesome, also Sprach Zarathustra, also known as 2001. And I saw Emir Deodato in Tokyo. I saw him live. I was the guest of the Brazilian embassy. I was homies with the ambassador and the cultural attaché of the Brazilian embassy, and they got tickets to the show, and it was an amazing show, super, super fun. Okay, this is the new Paul McCartney album Yvonne is telling me about. This is the Dungeon one? Something Dungeon Lane, The Boys of Dungeon Lane? Okay, it's starting to sound familiar. I think I heard about it. That's cool. Um, let's see. Brian, did you get the news and hear the 2 new Rolling Stone songs yesterday? No, I would like to know about that. That sounds really good. I don't know. I did get a link from somebody today who sent me a little video of Keith doing I'm Waiting for My Man. It's like a little studio session, a little black and white video out there in like Instagram or TikTok land or whatever. And he's doing I'm waiting for my man. $26 in my hand. Up to Lexington, 125. Feeling sick and more dead than alive. I'm waiting for my man. Anyway, I would like to know. Here's another funny Rolling Stones ism. I saw the Black Crowes a couple weeks ago, and they're so great. They're so great. I'm convinced that they're like carrying the torch of the Rolling Stones brighter than anybody else is. I'm convinced that um, they're having a big comeback and they deserve the acclaim that they should be getting right now. And they're just great. And if you watch them on that collaboration they did with Jimmy Page way back when, the yeah, Jimmy Page and the Black Crowes. I can't remember which one I had. I keep look. I remember it being. I saw a version of it, like a single CD version of it recently, and I thought, is this the one I had? Because I remember it being like black with like white lettering, but it was like, but I can't seem to find it. But it's not the one that I think they just released a box set, which I couldn't quite. I don't know. I'm not following close enough to Black Crowes, but they're putting out new music and it's good music. It's really good. I got to get the records. It's quite good. They played a bunch of tracks off the new album, and I was pretty impressed. And but they come out and they say, "Hey, who likes the Beatles?" And the whole audience is like, "What?" He's like, "Well, we're gonna play a song by the Rolling Stones." And they're all just like, "Oh, it's like, gotcha." It's a super funny moment. Well, that's cool. The Stones are still the Stones and the Beatles putting out music. New album for them this summer. Okay, interesting. Very cool. Ninja Cat Matt Holmes. What's up, Holmes? Nice to see you, dude. Senor Brian. Yeah, man. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Just talking about random records that are in my sort of recent listening pile. And I don't know how long ago because the missus is supposed to be home relatively soon. And as soon as she arrives, it's going to be a little obnoxious. I have to share my living room with the fam. So I don't get to do this all that often. But um, yeah. It's kind of like a holiday. It's a, like, sort of a holiday. My wife's got the day off tomorrow. So, yeah, nice to see you. Okay, one more. Stone's forthcoming 25th album, Foreign Tongues, this summer. Okay. Yvonne's crazy for the Beatles and the Stones. Well, I'm showing old music too, Deodato. This has that killer, Latin jazz fusion version of 2001, which is just wicked cool. And it inspired my favorite band to do a version of that song. In heavy rotation in their repertoire. Fish plays a version of Deodato's 2001, and it's really really groovy on CTI. And I have to say, this is like the cheapest. This is the cheapest art direction, I think, in all my records. This is the front cover, and this is the back cover. Okay, guys, come on. This is the. It's like four Deodatos. The hell is going on here? Come on, guys. And it's also got that record that it's like you have to open it to get to. It's just like everything's wrong about this. But I had to choose it because it's like a classical. Also Sprach Zarathustra is a Strauss song written in 1896, I think, and just it's got some Brazilian flair put on it. So I thought it constituted as a good entry for my Crossroads top 5 prompt. Cheap heat. That's definitely cheap heat. You can find that record all day long for $5. It's a good record for $5 just for that tune alone. Um, this is Oz. I never remember what this is. I don't know this. I just scored this recently. Carmen Maki. Yeah, they're like a 70s progressive Japanese band that I saw about 10 times. I went to like 3 or 4 different record stores over the course of a couple days, and this record was like saying, "Take me home, take me home, take me home." It was very reasonably priced, and I listened to it, and it's really groovy. I don't really know all that much about it, and it needs to be like in a little bit more heavy rotation, but I think that they had this was a very popular record, and maybe in the vein of some kind of like King Crimson kind of deal. Maybe if one of you guys know about it, you can tell me. Yeah, Carmen Maki, and Oz. Carmen Maki and Oz with this kind of bizarre sort of Terry Gilliam Tron cover here. What do you guys know about this? You guys probably know better than me. And then I'm just going down the list here. Who else do I have here? I wish this was better. This is like the worst interface ever. Let me see here. Good to see you, Ninja Cat Matt. Thanks for the blue heart and stars. Pink hand waving. I see it. It's not coming through on my side. I'm crazy for SQ Swerve. Okay, I don't know about Swerve. Am I pulling these up right? Where am I? I can't remember where I'm watching. They come here, right? Okay. Swerve. I feel like I've heard of them before. They're like dogs in a pile. Ninja Cat Matt's crazy for dogs in a pile, and they're sort of in the wake of. Are they like sort of like a modern like jam thing? Are they a vehicle for jam? Swerve? I don't know about them. I've heard their name before, but I don't really know anything about them. Tell me about Swerve. I checked out Dogs in a Pile. They're kind of a little bit like who are those Australian cats that I can't seem to like figure out? They like put out records every 5 minutes. You know the guys, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. I know Ninja Cat Matt's also a big fan of theirs. I listen to them and I appreciate them. I just something about it's not clicking. I don't know, like I just haven't like I don't know. I'm a sucker, I think. I'm a sucker for, I don't know, maybe some basic licks or something. This like Swerve and Dogs in a Pile and King Gizzard might be like a little bit too like uh, too interesting or something, too sophisticated for me. But I mean, I've enjoyed what I've watched. I just haven't been compelled to, like, go get some of their music or, like, dive a little bit deeper. I should. I know I should. But Swerve, thanks for mentioning Swerve. They're gonna be on my radar, Swerve. If I got it right, I think it's a band, right? Okay. Wyoming Dave in the house. Deodat is a good jazz fusion musician. I have a bunch of records by him. Yeah, his records are pretty affordable. You can find them out there. Think I have more than I think I have 2, but this is the only one that I think is really like I listen to over and over again. But the other ones are good, but this one is just that track is like super great. And it's fun to play at a set. Everybody loves that tune. Yvonne, I got Deodato Knights of Fantasy from 1979 on vinyl. Okay, funky jazz vibes. Very cool. Yeah, he was great on stage. He was really amazing. Great cover art. Yeah, from that Carmen Maki record. That's kind of a weird one, right? Swerve Band from Denver. Okay, and an amazing guitar, Ninja Cat Matt says. All right, I trust you. King Gizzard Lizard is hard to get into initially. Okay, initially. It's like snowboarding. It's like impossibly hard the first, 4 or 5 times you go, and then the next thing you know, you're like a pro. Um, TMA Taylor, nice to see you here. Thanks for being here. I appreciate King Gizzard's attention to physical products. Yeah, they're putting out, yeah, I did. And also, it's like a little bit of a, I mean, I fault them for like putting out too much stuff because there's so much that I don't know where to start. Like, I have no idea where to start. And I'm constantly like getting on a moving train, and I don't know how you do that exactly. Um, Oops, I didn't pull that comment up. There it is. Thanks for the comment. Dogs in a Pile are the second best band on the planet. Oh, interesting take here. Okay, hot take. Dogs in a Pile. Dogs in a Pile. What is that from? That's from Tennessee Jed. What is that from? Dogs in a cat on a tin roof. Dogs in a pile. Nothing left to do but smile, smile, smile. He's gone. Maybe it's he's gone. Is that what the tune is? He's nothing's gonna bring him back. So Dogs in a Pile, obviously, um, in the realm of the dead, I guess. Second best band on the planet. Who's the first? Is that Fish? Are you calling Fish the best band on the planet or King Gizzard? Who's the best band on the planet? Ninja Cat Matt. Hamid. Good to see you, Hamid. Is that my homie Hamid? Oh, it is. Dude, Hamid, nice to see you. Man, my homie Hamid is hey brother, love your background. High sense, dude. Thank you very much. That's high praise coming from you. Hamid is a neighbor of my office. He's an office neighbor. He's a really cool cat who's been living in Japan about as long as I have. I think he's Japanese now. Toto. I'm reading the comments into the Toto is the best band, says TMA Taylor. That's funny. So obviously Fish. Okay, sorry. I just was confirming Ninja Cat Matt. Sorry. No, but my homie Hamid, he's got a killer garment store, clothing store, denim shop in hip Daikanyama. He's a self-made entrepreneur who I have a lot of respect for. I've talked about him on my channel before. He is he's kind of a stateless guy. He's kind of like if you live in a country for a really really long time and you don't get back to your home country, then you start to forget how to answer the question on the airplane, customs ticket. Like it asks you, where are you from? Or where do you live? And you say, what's it asking me here? And you get into this like special club of people who don't really know how to answer that question. And you think that the only way to get into that club is by having one parent from one place and another parent from another place, and growing up in one place and boarding school in another place and moving somewhere and but you can be from middle America, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and somehow accidentally adopt this identity, and you can relate to other people who have this kind of identity. And my friend Hamid, he's kind of one of these guys. I relate to him on that level. He's been away from his home so long, he kind of doesn't have a home, even though this is his home. um but I can definitely relate to that, and he's got a really, really cool shop in Tokyo that everybody ought to check out. It's called Edo. And the denim, you've heard about like Japanese denim, like what's it called, like selfridge, what's it called, salvage, it's not salvage, what is it? It's the one with the red stitching, the premium denim. It has that special stitch in it that you can see, and then you can know if it's like the good stuff. Salvage. I've never owned a pair, but it's kind of a stuck-up world, a little bit. I've known a couple of people who live by denim, and they live by Japanese denim, and they live by, like, indigo dye, and they look at you and they say they just judge you. They totally judge you by your dye. They're like, "Pff, that's not real indigo dye." Indigo dye in Japan is like, it's called izome, and they take, what do they take? I think it's like mulberry leaves. They have mulberry leaves. They're these bushes. They look like tea bushes, and they cut the leaves off of them, and then they put them in these big sort of wine barrels with sugar and I don't know what else. Sugar, and they just close them off. I think maybe it's just sugar and yeast probably, and they ferment them for months at a time, and then the natural blue dye comes out of these leaves, and it makes this really rich, deep izome indigo dye. And then you dip your garments in it, and they say there's like 72 micro seasons of Japan. There's the season of fireflies. There's the season of lotus roots. There's the season of bamboo shoots. There's the season of you know, um, what are some of the other seasons? Like the seasons of, persimmons and so on. And in the same regard, there's like 72 shades of blue. And it's very interesting that, and some of them are like almost, they're white basically, and some of them are like green, and some of them are like purple, and some of them are like deep, deep, deep blue. And you can, in the old days, because every time you dye a garment in the indigo dye, you basically deplete the dye and it becomes less concentrated. And when you have a very, very deeply dyed color, it's been dipped in the dye many, many times, and that makes the price, the more dye that it has, the more valuable and the more expensive and the more sort of luxurious and symbol of elegance and prestige is it has. And so you get people who they like judge you by how deep your blue indigo dye is. And I'm halfway joking, but Hamid's shop is it's very family friendly, and it's not pretentious whatsoever. It's the opposite of pretentious. It's very, very welcoming, and I think it's because he's not Japanese. I think he's, like, deep inside a Japanese world, a very kinda closed off world, and he's established himself. I don't know how he's done it, but it's purely for the fact that he's not Japanese, that he gets to reap all the benefits of the world and the craft, but doesn't have to, like, be a part of the gatekeeping that probably goes on in it. So for that reason, I love him and I love his shop, and it's very cool. And it's very cool to see people find his shop. And if you go to Daikanyama to go shopping for some of the boutiques, you can go spend a lot more money somewhere else, and you can go get, some brands that like you might have seen in a magazine or something, or you can go to Edo and you can see better quality garments for less price, for more competitive price. And it's like heart and soul gets put into these things. So I'm really, really impressed. I'm very happy to see you, Hamid. Thanks for being here. Thanks for letting me share a little bit about you. Um, Ninja Cat Matt, dogs in a pile are from He's Gone. Yeah, I thought so. Okay. I love this comment. Toto is the best band. I mean, Toto is a good band. That's a good band. It's a very good band. I don't know if it's the best band, but it's a very good band. Obviously, Fish, come on. Turtles touching turtles, turtles touching clouds. Come on now. I like Yvonne knows what's up. He knows Toto's good. Yeah, man, nice to see you too, dude. I love Toto too. Yeah, how can you know that? Down the rains, down in Africa. What's the other one? I was just singing it the other day. Rosanna, Rosanna. That's such a good song. It's just like sparkling, super sparkly tune. Good to see some other Toto fans. Nice. Yeah. I love the story of Africa too, because it's like they never went to Africa, right? It was like this mythical song. It was like mythical place. And he's just like writing something that he has no clue what he's writing on. In the Serengeti. It's such a sort of ridiculous lyric. And it's cool and funny. And Toto. I mean, isn't that guy, didn't they have like the Shredder guitar player who like played on Michael Jackson records? What's his name? I kind of like him. I know people don't like him, but Luggage Children. What are we talking about? Luggage Children. I'm sorry I got behind here. Have you done a tour of his store? Would love to see it. Yes, I have. You can actually search my a couple times actually. I think more than once. At Hamid's shop, Edo, is featured on Tokyo Record Style. If you search Edo, maybe denim, Edo, Edo. Edo is the old name of Tokyo. Tokyo was Edo before it was Tokyo. So go look up Edo on Tokyo Record Style, and you will see you'll see it is probably, I don't know if you can ship overseas, but if you come to Japan, I mean, save up because there's good stuff to be had there. Canadian tuxedo is denim. Yeah, right. The Canadian tuxedo. I love that. You do see the uh, denim kimonos. I've seen that before, but that's pretty cool actually. The denim kimono is a look. It's pretty flash. If you see it out there in the wild, I've only seen I've seen it maybe twice, but it's a good look. I wouldn't mind a denim yukata. It's like the summertime kimono. It's kind of it's got a little dudeish. It's like, it's like got a little Big Lebowski thing. Oops, connection lost. Reconnecting. Am I okay? Okay. Who else is here? Toasted onions. Toasted onions. Hey there, Toasted Onions. I know you. Who are you, Toasted Onions? We talked recently. I remember your Toasted Onions. Oh, am I back? I might have skipped out a little bit. Okay. Toasted Onions, remind me who you are. I think you're a friend of mine, but I'm spacing your avatar here. Hamid says, thank you, brother. I love you too. Oh, man, you're so kind to me. Great to see you before sleep. Yep, time to go to sleep here pretty soon. Stay cool, brother. Good night and see you tomorrow. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, Hamid. Thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. Luke. Oh, Steve Lukather. Yeah, he's funny. I like him. He's funny. And he did like he wrote he wrote some of those licks. So yeah, TMA Taylor, definitely look up Edo. And yeah, okay, thanks for all the comments. Okay, a few more records. This is cool. Man, this was super, super insanely lucky. I got to make a video about this. I kind of hesitate to even share it on this live stream, but I got one of these. This is the, I want to say 22. What is it? What year was this? This is like this is the mono box set. I got given the Verve MGM albums box set that has 5 records in it, including Velvet Underground Nico, Chelsea Girl, which I have a stereo version, but not a Japanese stereo version, but not in mono. White Light, White Heat, Velvet Underground, self-titled, and then this one, which I know this band. I feel like I know this band, and like I can't keep straight some of these records because like their second album is White Light, White Heat. Their third album, self-titled, Velvet Underground. Then they've got this 1969 thing. Somebody needs to teach me, and I need to learn it so I don't forget. But oh, interesting. You know what I wonder is going on? No, that can't be it. Okay. So anyway, they're all in mono except for this 1969 one. I don't know this. I love Loaded. I freaking love Loaded. Loaded is my favorite Velvet's record. I mean, I love every Velvet's record, but I love Loaded. And I kind of hate that I love Loaded as much as I do, but I love Loaded because um, for a lot of reasons. But my Loaded is signed by Lou Reed because I got a copy. I met Lou Reed, and he signed my copy of Loaded. And it is on Cotillion Records. It's not on Verve, so it's an outlier. But Doug Yule is famously on it. When does Doug start? I kind of forget. Yeah, I forget when Sterling leaves or when Kale leaves and Doug joins, but he's definitely here. I can't. I have to go look up if he's on White. I forget if he's on White or if he's on self-titled. Yeah, he is on the self-titled because that's him in the corner for sure. Yeah, these are groovy. So I've listened to this a couple of times already, but and it sounds amazing. It sounds really cool. Oh, and then the other really cool thing about this box set is that the reason that this Andy Warhol is hold on, I'll pull it out. I got to be super careful here. The reason that the banana is exposed is because they give you a sticker, banana sticker with it, and you can, if you want, you can apply the banana to it. And I think it even like peels off and you can put it back. I think you can make your own, but I haven't done that yet with mine. And it also comes with like 2 really groovy posters. I mean, they're kind of like infomercial posters, but pretty cool. There's one. And this was an insanely nice box set. And then this one was from, I think, from the movie the documentary that they did not that long ago, which is really cool. No, not quite, but it has that motif on it with Andy. That's so cool. So Far Underground, you get the bends. So Far Underground, you get the bends. That's cool. I don't even know if I caught that the first time I read it. So Far Underground, you get the bends. And why I just kind of like bugged out a little bit is because there's a video floating around right now of the Velvets playing a live show like in California. I think like I want to say like some like beach house kind of thing. They're like on the deck of the house. It's like a little miniature like be-in sort of deal. And they look a little bit out of place, but Nico's not with them. But it looks like this. It kind of looks like there's like a white house and they just look so cool, man. Look at this crew. Are they not just like nobody cooler? What a badass ragtag group of people. God, look at those sunglasses. They all look so cool. I like to hear, Lou talk about Sterling because he sometimes talks about Sterling, and you don't hear it so much, but I heard him I was listening to some sort of like the last interviews of Lou Reed, and he was saying, like, "I'm glad something happened when Sterling was still around, or we lost Sterling by then," or, yeah, Sterling Morrison. And then this kind of begs the question too, like, I know the songs and I know the albums and I've read plenty, but you've got Lou Reed writing songs. You have Mo Tucker on playing like very she's playing toms. She's a tom player, right? And her drums to me sound like, I grew up like going to powwows in Oklahoma, and I always like get her like boom, 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 boom. I always hear that in Mo Tucker. And then you've got Sterling shredding guitar, Sterling Morrison, and then you have John Cale on um like, you know, I guess bass. I mean, I know he's on viola, but did they have a bass player? Who played bass in in the Velvets? Did anybody play bass? Did they all play bass? Did Sterling play bass? Did Lou play bass? Who played bass? Oh, Ninja Cat Matt took off. Take care, buddy. Good to see ya. Sorry I missed your goodbye here. I'm watching it on you. Let me scroll back a little bit. Somebody hit me to that. What's going on there with yeah, buddy. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Hit the like button. Bless you, Ninja Cat Man. That's nice of you. Appreciate it. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, hit the like button. I'm gonna go hit my own like button. Um, El Rojo Plantain. Yes. Um, yeah, nice box set, TMA Taylor. Thanks for yes. Very sick box set. Toasted onions. I'm still curious. Who's toasted onions? I know you toasted onions. Happy end of the golden week. Thank you, Ninja Cat Man. Good to see OJCs. What's up, buddy? OJC's in the house. Oh man, I want to talk to you, OJCs. I got lots to share with you. There's some funny stuff going on in my head that I can't share with anybody. There's just some funny things. There's just some very, very funny things. Some very funny things. And I so badly want to I so badly want to talk about them, but I'm just not going to. But there's some really funny things, and it's just there's some very, very misguided thoughts out there in the world that I have to laugh at, and I don't think anybody would get them for some reason except for you OGCs. John Cale, the K, then Doug Gill. Mazzy, thank you for Mazzy cluing me in. I figured as much. I think there's a funny there's a funny line from from what's the movie? School of Rock with Jack Black. And he's right, he goes, he's like he's filling in for Mr. Schneebly. He's Mr. Schneebly, right? And he goes, he hears the music room, right? And he goes and he looks in the music room and he's like, holy cow, there's my band for me. They can join the battle of the bands. And he recruits the kids in the class. Of course, you've seen the movie, but the bass player, the girl who plays bass, he says, "Hey, that violin thing, that viola thing, or the cello thing you have? Well, turn it sideways and cello, you're a bass guitar player." I just think it was so funny. Cello, you got a bass. I don't know if it's, I guess, but a bass isn't strung like that. I don't think a bass is strung like a cello. Um, yeah, but Cale was a multi-instrumentalist and viola player too. Yeah. Yeah, I know this. I figured he was the bass player. I think Phil Lesh was a viola player too. I think Phil started on like violin or viola. I assume violin and viola and cello are all tuned the same way, but maybe they're not. And maybe they take different, yeah, maybe they're different. Not totally sure. And obviously, like, if you don't, I'm sure you know this, but bass is just the top four strings of a guitar. Essentially, a five-string bass has like one more like B or something below the E. It's got a fifth string on top, and then a six string bass is just a guitar. It's just a bass guitar. It's just all six strings of the guitar. Sometimes you'll see a seven string bass with one more on the super, the Thunder Maker. Oh, Ed Topo knows. Okay, I appreciate you guys dropping some science on me. Does anybody want to come up and hang out? I got a little bit of hangout juju, but I don't want to oblige anybody. As you can see, I'm doing okay up here. But if anybody wants to come hang out for a little bit, I'm not going to go on long. I think any minute my lovely is going to come through the door and I'm going to have to be like, oh, I got to bounce. But I'll throw the link up there if anybody wants to come and hang out for a little bit and talk about records. Okay, Ed Topo says, can tune a bass in fifths, usually fourths. Okay, that's a little bit over my head. I don't totally know what that means. Okay, but maybe I can get there. Upright bass is tuned in fourths for jazz and fourths for orchestra usually. Okay, interesting. You can tune a bass in fifths. Okay, violins must be in fifths. That's what he's saying, I think. Yeah, I guess that means like the note, like, like the fifth fret on a guitar is the next string below it. I guess on a viola or on a violin, it's the fourth string. Yeah, E, A, D, G. That's right. Okay, interesting. I didn't know that. That's interesting. Okay. Wow. Thank you, Ed Topo. That's really nice to hear. I didn't know that. I mean, we could try. Oh, all our guitars are upstairs. You got to bring the guitars back downstairs, buddy. Got like 3 guitars upstairs. There's none down here to play. You don't need to do it right now. Don't worry about it. Okay, cool. Yeah, I figured, yeah. So if you can play guitar, you can play bass. Bass players would probably hate to hear such a thing because bass is not guitar light. It's definitely not. It's counterpoint and it's a whole different sport. But if you're playing blues, you can basically I can keep up on bass a little bit. Okay, very, very interesting. Yeah. Every good EAD, every, how's it go? Something. I've forgotten my little acronym. What is it? I thought it was every good boy. What is it? Every something boy does fine. Is that something different? I don't know. I can't really read music. I can read simple charts. I can do 145. I can read. I like to go to a 6. Speaking of which, oh my God, I'm really, really excited to share this. Oh my God, this is exciting to share. Okay. I don't. Okay, this is just a tiny, tiny little preview, but oh my God, I am so happy to share this. So I have somebody in my musical past. He's like Llewellyn. What was that Llewellyn movie? Every aggressive dog. Every aggressive dog growls. I was thinking. I nearly thought of such a thing. I truly did. What is every good boy does fine? What is that? What the hell is that? I don't even know where I'm getting that from. Okay. So sadly, I don't have this artist's first or second album because this artist doesn't even have his first or second album. But I have a copy of his third, fourth, and fifth albums. And that artist is named Craig. You're not going to be able to see it. And my autofocus is not really doing it. Give me a second. I'll do it. Craig Wieselman. Is that coming in? Craig Wieselman. Craig Wieselman. He is like, how like, what was that? Llewellyn Lewis or whatever? What was that movie where he he got looked over like an amazing songwriter who just happened to be debuting at the exact same moment that Bob Dylan did and just like lost his moment just by fate. This is one of the most talented songwriters I have ever known, and I have ever heard, and I have ever come across. Craig Wieselman. Consider yourself very lucky to hear the name Craig Wieselman today. He is a musical hero of mine. This is his album To the Mountain. This is his album If You Lose Your Light. And this is his album The Pull. And he has two other records. One's called Many Rivers, and one is self-titled. And they are masterpieces. And this guy writes songs. Let me see if I can find a picture of him. Um, well, that's him. You can't really get a good look. But Yvonne, if you're still watching, this guy lives in Norway. He's from Minnesota. He's from Bob Dylan country. He lived all around, but I knew him in Colorado. And this guy, man, this guy, nobody writes songs like this guy. He's like Greg Brown. If you know Greg Brown is a godfather of folk music and undisputed, undisputed heavyweight of folk music, the heavyweight champion of the world. And just somehow nobody knows about him, but he is folk music. And Craig Wieselman is oh my god, if you go listen to this record, I'm going to recommend to you, these are so good. I'm going to recommend To the Mountain, this one with the red triangle. You won't forget it. Go listen to this album. This album is a perfect album. It's perfect. There's no fat on this. From the very first moment the album starts to the very end, it's a masterpiece. It's incredible. It's such a good song. And anyway, he lives in Norway now, and he retreated from music. It's just like you can't even believe it. There's so much talent in this guy, and he's got this ability to do this thing in music that nobody else does, and that's to go, I think it's the sixth. I think he goes to the sixth in like every song. And if you know your 1-4-5 blues, or if you know like 1-3-5 or 1-5-7, or if you know those kind of standard chord progressions, and you can read like standard chord progressions, then you kind of learn kind of early on that the sixth is like a weird one. And when you get to eight, you're going back to the beginning. And when a two can be a weird one too, but the six can be a very peculiar chord to visit. And his name is Craig, Kreg, Craig, Kreg, Craig Wieselman. Vie, Vie, V Wieselman, Viesselman, Craig Wieselman. Oh my god, he's so good, so good. Go listen to Many Rivers too. Go listen to his first albums. They're so, or no, the self-title is brilliant if you can find it online. If I had a chance to press a record, oh, speaking of which, I think the Jason Rojas stream last week, they had the guy from Carbon Records and Jose Moreno Ron. I have never heard that was like the best VC live stream I think I've ever seen. I've ever listened to. It was so interesting. It was so very interesting. They were talking about pressing records and moving records and the trials and tribulations of pressing like 300 records at a time. It was super interesting. I was really impressed. I could totally captivated. I was so busy that I couldn't like concentrate on it completely, and so I paused it with the intention of coming back and listening to it later. It was so good. These guys, Jose, I mean, I like Jose a lot. He's got such a funny attitude that sometimes And just like but I like that guy a lot. He's got interesting taste in music, and I just like his philosophy of, like, doing things. I like that guy a lot. He's one of my favorite people in the VC. And, I don't know if we'd be like pals or whatever, like a little oil and water, tiny bit, but mostly like anytime he shows a record, I'm like, oh, I didn't know anybody else that knew that record. And and Dom was on it, and he had and Joel ATX. It was a great conversation. Highly, highly recommend going back and watching this week's what do they call it? Social media club, or what do they call it? Social vinyl club or something. It's very, very cool. They were talking real do it your do they were talking real do it yourself style. Yeah, it was very, very interesting. And the name of the show was like I don't remember what it was, but like yeah, the how to, like it was really interesting because they were rattling. It was kind of a little bit of a masterclass, which is why I bring it up, because if I could press any record that that I would like broadcast to the world, I'd like put my money where my mouth is and be like, you should buy this. I don't have to, if you don't want to hear something good, then don't buy it. But only for those who like good music, you need to buy this record. Like I can 10,000% get behind the product of Craig Wieselman easily. I can easily get behind this music. It's so good. And it might not be for you, it might not be for all, but for the people who it's for, it's going to be really, really, really for you. And it deserves to be out there, and it deserves a second chance because it just never got its moment. And I would get behind it, and I would press 300 records of this thing, and I would sell it to you guys if I could. And if I was going to really try to do such a thing, I would go and listen to this. I saw Grasshopper Broad. Good to see you, Grass. I know VCSC, VC Vinyl Community Social Club, I think they call it. So let me go back here and read some comments. I missed some. Did you get a second turntable? Maybe I just didn't notice before. I've had two turntables for a while. I actually have four. I have four Technics 1200s. I've got two more elsewhere. And yeah, I got like two full DJ rigs. And yeah, I love the 1200s. I love them. I love them. I heard like Rob the Wax saying like, he wants to get a 1200. They're just so timeless, They're just so like they're so lovely to look at, and they're just so like they're so utilitarian, and they're just like I love them. I just fucking love them. They're so cool. Just like everything about them. Like I hate to see them all beat to shit. It's a little bit heartbreaking to see people just to see them trash and like tennis balls as as feet, and just like all yellowed, and like the crossfaders all like they're all everything's been worn off on them, and the tracking light all fucked, and like I hate to see that. But the mine are in really, really excellent condition. They're very, very good condition. And yeah, I love the 1200. It's like a Leica, It's like a Porsche 911. It's like the nicest, most well-designed turntable. And guys, I am so excited because I have a little news coming. It's not happening yet, but I've got something connected to the 1200s that's coming up in the not so distant future. I'm so pumped to share. And you'll have to just subscribe up if you're not already subscribing. But I've got some really cool Technics 1200 things. I don't know, maybe it won't, and maybe I'm like overly excited about it, but I saw something that I'm really excited to share that's connected to the 1200s. Yeah, and I always, take a little bit of guff, take a little bit of heat for like my setup because my speakers are right next to my turntables, but I don't have anywhere else to put them. So I make do with what I have, and I just like looking at them. They're just like they're nice objects as objects, like the tone arm, that whole contraption, with the whole thing, and the way that you can turn it and like lowers, and like the cartridge, the ability to change the head shell, and it's all delicate and like what's the word? Like, refined and what's the word? Like precise. It's all precise, but it's also like built like a tank. It's so tough too. And I love that. It's like it's got both of those things. This like really komakai millimeter precision and preciseness. That might be redundant. Preciseness, precision, and this like really awesome. And the new ones are apparently like completely re-engineered, even though they look exactly the same. I think these are like far, far inferior. This is a Mark II, maybe, and this is a Mark III. And I think the other ones I have are also Mark IIIs. And I know the new one has like a totally different drivetrain and a totally different engine and a whole different tone arm and a whole different thing. But I don't know. I just like them. I've always had them. I've had probably 5 pairs over the years. Um, and then I also have this thing's probably a little dusty. Let me just give it a quick one. I got the Soundburger, the red Soundburger. Love the Soundburger. And the red one's pretty special because it is number 1137 of 7,000, a little limited edition red version. The yellow and the black and the silver are out there, but the red is pretty special. And I was very, very excited to get this one. So there's my record players. And yeah, I've had a couple weird. I had some Geminis. I've had some like weird ones. All hand-me-downs. One of these was a hand-me-down. One of these was like the dude was like, "Can you just take it, please?" I was like, "Oh my god!" It's like in a box, basically brand new. Sorry, let me catch up. OJC's Miss 0777. OJC's. I've been noticing the Japanese setup is 2 players with a DJ mixer between them. Yeah, could be. That's pretty standard issue. I wonder like what percentage of Japanese sort of like music heads like me, not like insane, but insane. I mean, like, well, the one turntable is probably a thing, but yeah, I like having 2. And the problem was that I had these 2 are so nice, and I needed another pair, and I was going to use these, but these are so nice that I didn't want the other pair to get trashed. So I got another pair that are actually equally as nice as these, but so long as I have one pair that's really, really nice as like for home listening, then I'm fine. Yeah, I mean, it was a great show. I really recommend it. So yeah, if I could make a record that Craig Wieselman, I would put out all of his records. This is a funny comment. Squash balls make good feet for speakers. That's cool. That's funny. Yeah, Yvonne's got 2 red Technics 1200s. Those are expensive. Yeah, he's got the new ones, the like, yeah, G series or 7. Are they 7s, Yvonne? What are they? They're the brand new ones. Yeah, Yvonne's jealous of my red Soundburger. I knew you would be. It's cool. They're hard to come by. The limited edition. I had to get that thing. I had to be on the phone at like midnight until like 5 in the morning, being like redial, 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 sort of something like that. It was like one of those deals. I really, really wanted it, and but now that I got it, I never freaking use it. So I used it for a while. It's like the novelty's worn off a little bit, although I do use it for a couple specific uses, and it's kind of fun to use. So I kind of like using it. Um, okay, a few more records, and then I'll wrap it up. Daniel Johnson, Happy Time. This B-side, Rock and Roll. Ega, Love Me Do. So good. This is really good for the B-side. Super great. Saw this the other day for pretty cheap. Sell it to me, Yvonne says. Okay, what are you going to offer me for it, Yvonne? What's it worth to you? Maybe I'd sell it. The shipping would cost probably more than the dang record player. Although, they probably that one you probably find it's probably hard to find. It's probably $500 online. I don't know, you tell me. I have no idea what it's worth. Um, In Sounds from the Way Out, I talked about that one the other day. This one's like original press. With Cisco, I had to kind of be reminded what Cisco was. Interesting distributor. Um, Compilation of Beastie's instrumental stuff. Berlin. This one I couldn't believe I didn't have. Scored this the other day. Love. Sad Song. What a great ending to an album. So good. Super cool. When you get off the airplane at Berlin, there's like a picture of right when you walk out of the airport. It's like it's David Bowie everywhere, Iggy Pop and Lou Reed. It's so cool. You're like, what? It's kind of funny. It's not none of these like German heroes. It's all these like Berlin legends. This one is from 94, I think. What year? Yeah, 94. This one's from 94. Happy Time. I think it's out there. You can get it. It's not that expensive. But you'll love the B-side. I mean, it's sort of an anthem. It's really great. If you haven't heard this song, look up rock and roll EGA, EGA. I don't even know what EGA Love Me Do means. Unavailable on album. Okay, these weren't on albums, and just like a bizarre illustration by Daniel Johnson with Jeremy. What's he called? What's this guy's name? It's a Grass will know. Jeremy the somebody? No, I'm thinking of Jeremy the Frog. Jeremy. Somebody was talking about Yellow Submarine. Is Yellow Submarine coming? I forgot. I heard somebody talking about Yellow Submarine, and they're like, "Oh, it's a great movie. It holds up so well." I don't know if Yellow Submarine holds up so well. Yellow Submarine's fun. It's a good ride. Don't know if it holds up. It's very weird. And Jeremy, the little character Jeremy, he's a weirdo. He's a very strange character. But what's Jeremiah? What's Daniel Johnson's creature's name? And then White Pepper, that came in the mail a little while ago. Sort of arguably Ween's most accessible album, and for that reason, arguably its most boring. I might disagree. I'm not totally sure. I love this record, but maybe their seventh or eighth record from like. I always forget when this is. I always think it's later than it actually is. It's like after Quebec, but I always think it's like the last one. But it's definitely not the last one. But I don't think I owned it until for a few years. Oh, and it's really nice because I mean, it's just so clever. Like White Pepper, like it's just like remember the first time you like read White Pepper, and then it's got this gorgeous green bell pepper wax, which is real nice, right? Can you see how nice that color is? Isn't that great? Love it. With the booginish. With bananas and blow, oh. I've been living on bananas and blow. And also Stay Forever. That was kind of the single. Come on, go back in there. And I want it hard, and oh, that was on the Freeman record. Okay. Then I don't know. Forgive me if I think I've shown these actually. I scored a couple Strokes records the other day. I saw them at Book Off for cheap. I couldn't refuse. Some country records. I feel like I've shown these already. Is there anything else on here I didn't show? Yeah. I mean, basically that's it, I think. Okay. Let's see. Did you watch the doc on Berlin? I saw it at the Toronto Film Festival. No, I did. I don't think I know it. I might have to look that up. You'll come to Japan and get it? You might have to wrestle me for it. You have to arm wrestle me for it, maybe. Or we'll do a bet. We'll do like a coin toss or something. You know, I'll bet you my red turntable versus your red turntables. How's that one, Yvonne? Your red turntables are probably, I bet they're equally as rare, maybe. I wonder which one's more rare. I bet the red Technics 1200s are pretty rare. But you know, those Technics 1200s, if you really want a red record player, I think those, the The tops are red, right? I mean, the case is red, but if you want, you can buy those, you can buy, like, a cover for them that keeps them kinda nice. Okay, guys. What time is it? Yeah, it's time to hit the hay. Lou and Lori were at the screening. Wow, cool. Yeah, Lou Reed and Lori Anderson. Yeah, I saw did I see Lori Anderson? I can't remember if I've ever seen Lori Anderson. Oh, you know what I did do though? I will bring this up because Mazzy made a nice video last week. He did his like 20 best concerts. And I was like, huh, I wonder if could do 20 best concerts. I haven't seen nearly as many shows, just because I've lived overseas. I like there was shows to see, but like they weren't of the caliber, and I like wasn't in the town, and like there were a lot of factors like I didn't get to see them. So and also I'm not Mazzy's got he's got 20 years on me probably, but like I'm still not there yet, right? So maybe I'll see some shows from now until then. But I did pull up a list. I'll rattle off a few of them. Gomez. Gomez was a hot show. I saw Gomez, these kind of Brit pop rock guys that were so good. I couldn't believe how good they were. They come in at like number 20. Now Spinning TV. Hey man, nice to see you. Now Spinning TV. Are you Sean? Now Spinning TV? Remind me, are you Sean? I also pulled up something. I pulled up something else. Well, maybe I'll pull this one up too. Gomez was on that list. Like Moldy Peaches were also on that list, who I know Jose also loves. Moldy Peaches, like, can I put them like in the same, like in the best concerts I've ever seen? I don't know. But and I only saw them. Well, I've seen Kimya Dawson and I've seen Adam Green, but I've seen I mean, the Moldy Peaches were just they were so great. They were so fun. I mean, they were just something to behold. And Sean, you always leave very nice comments on my videos, and I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Sean. But it's really touching when to read your comments. Thank you so much for always leaving very thoughtful comments. Really appreciate it. I don't want to name them all because maybe I will make this video. Jim James. I saw a Jim James show. You guys seen Jim James? Jesus Christ. From My Morning Jacket. Is that right? My Morning Jacket. Oh my God. Jim James. He's something to behold. Incredible charisma. I saw him like I saw Wayne Coyne in the audience at his show, like in the audience with everybody else, not on side stage, but like in the middle of the room. It's like nice, very, very cool. Grasks asks, have you seen Ween? Yes, I've seen Ween twice. I've seen Ween twice, but not as many times as I would like to see them. But I've definitely seen them twice. And are they on this list? They're definitely on this list. They're not near the top, to be honest. I've seen them at Red Rocks, which was really special, and I also saw them at the Fillmore, which was cool. Yeah, Ween, seen them twice. I think I want to say like Tenacious D opened for them at Red Rocks. I have to look that up, but it was a fun show, and they were incredible. I have photos from the Fillmore show. That was really cool. Yeah, and then I have I should skip around. I mean, I mentioned the Black Crowes. I was moved to tears both times that I saw the Black Crowes. I couldn't help it. I didn't will it. It just came out of me. I couldn't help it. It was so powerful. There was so much musical prowess and so much like legendary, like just rock and roll on stage. It was so cool. And I just got overwhelmed. Verklempt. I got verklempt. Really nice. Oh, let's see. You scored the Ween RSD release. Yes, I did. Thank you very much, Sean. I did. And I think I actually had like amazingly more than one person was like looking out for me because I had mentioned it so much. And like somebody's like, "Hey, I got an extra Ween record for you in case you need it." I was like, "Ah, thank you so much. Thank you so much." And I was just like really moved and really touched. And I don't know what to do. I'm like, I've told, yeah, just send it to me. Yeah, I'll take it. I don't know what I don't really need it, and I don't really can't really afford it. And but thank you very much. There's other bands two other bands, and then I'll get off this list. Daft Punk. I saw Daft Punk. They were amazing. Saw Daft Punk. Very lucky chance. I saw Daft Punk. And then in the number 4 slot was Shane MacGowan of the Pogues. I saw Shane MacGowan solo, and he was so great. He was so amazing. And every one of these bands I've seen, there was just like I could paint it in my mind's eye, like just them like on the stage and like energy just like like flowing right off the stage. Like I can see the whole thing. But the number one is pretty cool. I think I will make this video. I'm inspired to make this video. I won't have. Yeah, I guess I could do it. Yeah, I could do it. I don't think I do. I have records by all these people. I don't have. I don't have Jim James. I don't have any Jim James. I don't think. I'd have to go out and maybe buy. That's a good excuse to go buy Jim James records. Do you guys do that? Do you sometimes go buy records so you can make videos? I do this sometimes. 4 of my favorite gigs were Irakere from Cuba. Oh my God. Okay, Irakere. I'm gonna write this one down. I don't know this one. Am I saying it right? Irakere. I'm probably saying it with like a Japanese accent. Irakere. I assume they're probably super famous, and I've never heard of them. Irakere. Okay, I can imagine that. What kind of, is it like Afro-Cuban kind of thing? I can imagine. I mean, like I've got a bunch of King Sunny Ade records, and every time I just like hear that kind of like, you know, the jungle music, the rhythm of the saints. I'm just so moved. Not the sort of stadium church music. It comes from the jungles. It comes from the fields, the bush. That's the best. And forgive me if I'm mischaracterizing that music, but or making blanket statements. I'm just saying that I really like that music that comes from kind of the old world. Yeah, he made a great video tracking the Ween down. Hold on, did I miss one? Have you seen Ween? Oh, did I make a video? Oh, my video of tracking the Ween down. Thank you, Grass, answering Sean's question about did I find it? Yeah, I did make a video. Yeah, I did make the video, and it's coming coming way. Did he play the famous Christmas song? Jim James? Sorry, Yvonne, I got too far behind. I missed the comment. Sorry about that, dude. Same here. Seeing Daft Punk live back in 2007 in Sydney, mind-blowing show. Yeah, I saw them probably same year. It's a very lucky time, lucky chance. There's one more thing I actually made today or yesterday. I was just thinking about, they say that you should have like a gratitude journal, right? You've heard of that before. And like, you basically can't be upset and you can't like be grateful and angry at the same time. There's something about that. Afro-Cuban jazz, 12 to 18 piece crazy arrangement, somewhere between Ellington and Zappa. Okay, that's pretty interesting. I like the sound of that. I'm going to check it out. Irakere. That's somehow a little tricky. The Pogues frontman. Oh yeah, sure, yeah. He did the Christmas song. Yeah, what's the Christmas in New York City? And the boys with the Christmas. That's a good song. Um, God, so I pulled up some comments that people have left on my videos. I just was like taking stock of different comments that people have left, like really just really really thoughtful comments. And Sean wrote a comment here. There's a bunch, like every comment Sean writes on my Now Spinning TV writes, but he says, oh, coincidentally, about the Record Store Day video. Thanks for taking us along with you for Record Store Day in Tokyo. That was so much fun to watch, and you can really feel the excitement and the stress of the hunt in the video. I'm so glad I'm so glad you still got your hands on that Ween record after that guy in front of you at HMV. That was such a close one. Okay, great adventure. Cheers, Sean. So thanks for taking us with you along on your Record Store Day in Tokyo. Thank you for taking us along. Like that's a really thoughtful comment, even though that doesn't seem like, I don't know, maybe like an innocuous comment. Thank you for taking us along with you. Like I want to take you along with me. So that's the idea. And when you feel that you've been brought along somewhere, I'm pleased. And so that was a meaningful comment, and I really appreciate that. C11P has got a couple of comments on here. There's a bunch of them. I kind of gave up on this idea, but he wrote, dude, I followed your channel since about 100 YouTube subs and watch more frequently now. Your Record Store Day was especially nice. I got 2 copies of Freeman if you wind up not getting yours. And this one is next level thanks to the 360 cam. Okay, what brand is yours? Please do it again. So yeah, you get your kudos from me in the form of a new Patreon sub. Oh my God. Cheers, dude. C11P. Thank you so much. That was a very, very nice comment. Racer Records, Joe, who's doing Jeopardy, wrote a nice one. Presented as always, Brian. Oh, let's see. Well filmed and well presented as always, Brian. It was a cool shot. Always a pleasure to watch your content, my friend. I mean, this is so nice. Love the piano. And if I came to Tokyo, besides hanging out with you, it would be all the Godzilla for me. Such a fan. I can't even fathom the amount of stuff that they have there. Yeah, he's a Godzilla fan. Grown Man Record Night, who I love, I love Mikey Bananas at Grown Man Record Night. He says, been really enjoying these videos. I've been really enjoying these videos. I mean, just like that, again, like seemingly innocuous, but like, damn, been really enjoying these videos. I'm watching your videos. Like, that's fucking super nice. Thank you so much. Grown Man Record Night. Dom from Seeking a Thread, he wrote a really nice comment. I don't get so many comments from Dom. I have a feeling Dom sort of uses his commenting sparingly. He wrote, super entertaining to watch, taking us along as always. I know you guys get good comment. Everybody gets good comments when they try really hard to make good videos, but I was just really happy about these. There was one that like, oh, this one, I mean, good grief. Like all this to say that your hard work, which does take time and a lot of effort, is not in vain. We love your channel and site and aesthetic. Keep on keeping on. You know, I- you get a comment like, you ever have like a pretty girl tell you like, "Hey, you're looking good these days," or something? You ever have a girl say like, "You look something, you're cute," or like, "You got a good nose or got a good eyes," or something? You're just like, it's like it like lifts you and carries you for like the entire year. It's like you never forget it ever. It's like like a little comment like, "I've been really enjoying your videos." It has the same effect. It really does. I mean, I obviously, like, you should not, like, derive your value from other people's, like, or, but it's like, so encouraging, and I really, really, really appreciate it. And that's what's so troubling, really, about the people who, do the opposite. And it's just like, wow, what's wrong with this person? I had one the other day. This one's kind of fun. I said, hold on, I gotta pull it up because it was kind of funny. I like to do this every once in a while. OJCs, if you're out there, you gotta message me, dude. I got something for you, man. I got something that'll just make you laugh. It's so funny. Um, which one was it? I think it was a live stream. No, it was the it was the record store day. That got a lot of views. That one got like 8,000 views nearly. Some guy wrote, hold on, I'll pull it over to the screen. It's just funny. Uh, hold on, let me see if it's still here. I didn't delete anything. This is just like, I don't know, kind of my simple mind, simple pleasures. Let me see, newest. I hope this comes up. Was it this one? I'm sure it was this one. Oh, it's gone. I think he deleted it. Well, I'll paraphrase. He said, why would you take the powder in your mouth from the pouch and not pour it into the water bottle like a normal person? Duh. And I wrote, cause your mom, period. And I just like, so stupid, but so fun. You deleted it. Cause your mom. I don't know. It's kind of entertaining to me. Cause your mom. Sometimes when people write stupid comments, I just kind of I like to reply to them. Thank you for your constructive criticism. I would have never thought anybody could think of something so stupid. I wouldn't say stupid, but I would say I would find some clever way to make people be like, oh, that wasn't the intended effect. But he deleted it. He didn't like that comment, I guess. Your mom, because your mom, that's why, because your mom. um, let's see. Grass always leaves amazingly sweet comments on my stuff too. I connected with you with the piano Ween covers. I was silently watching, but the piano was when the piano's covers hit me. Yeah, I like playing Ween on. I mean, because Ween's so good. Ween's like Aaron Freeman's amazing songwriter. Such a good songwriter. He's great. His music could be is timeless. He writes practically standards. Ed Topo Castro used to get bands graded. Woo. Only the best players could tour and represent Cuba back then. Interesting. Ed Topo. Very interesting. One of my dearest friends he's I guess I don't think he was born in Cuba, but his father was born in Cuba and left in whatever 1948 or 46 or whenever it was. Or 60, when was it? What year is that? 61 maybe. Or yeah, when is the Cuban Revolution? But he was friends. They went to school together. They were classmates with Fidel. They were like buddies. And he had some stories. He told me some stories. And he told me some pretty intense stuff that involved firing squads. And it was ugly. And my friend Manny, and he was a very outspoken. He was a very outspoken activist until he died when he was like 99. The guy lived forever, and he had like these big can badges all over his shirts, and he was very not into Castro's way of leading. So very interesting. Yeah, but boy, it sure did make for some good music. Panama did the same under Noriega. Ugh, man, interesting. Can you imagine playing for your life? I mean, that's what Jerry says. He says he had this. Jerry Garcia has this hilarious story that he tells in a couple of interviews where he says they're backstage at Winterland or something, and he sees a cake come in, and he's like, "Oh, that's nice. That must be for so and so's birthday." And he just takes a little dollop of icing, just a little helping. Nobody will notice. Kind of patches it back up, And then somebody comes in and says, "Yeah, we dosed that icing with about 8,000 hits." And Jared's like, "Bong! Oh no, I have to play tonight," you know? And he's like, got it in his mind that everybody in the audience was like FBI guys and CIA guys, and they were all out to to get him, and they were like, "Hey, what's wrong with you, mister? You gotta come with us." And he's like, "No, no, no." And then he got on stage with his guitar in hand, and he said, like, he made like a pact with God and said, "If you let me live, I'll play for my life." And what was it? What did he say? As I played for my life, I thought, as long as you let me live, I'll play, I'll play, I'll do everything I can to play this guitar. So he says, like, that was the recipe that he used for playing music every night. He thought about that. He played for his life. And those are kind of my favorite musicians, the ones who are like, they'll hit those notes where you're like, "Well, that wasn't the right note." There's another story, a great one about Herbie Hancock talking about playing with Miles. And he says, that he plays the wrong note somewhere, and he heard it and he instantly went like, "Oh, I didn't mean to play that." And Miles sort of looked over at him because it didn't belong in the progression of whatever chord they were playing. But something that Miles did made it correct. And Herbie says, like, he learned a giant lesson from Miles that day, that Miles didn't hear it as a mistake, but he heard it as another piece to the puzzle, another way to like link music together. And so Miles made Herbie's mistake not a mistake. So I thought that was kind of cool. But anybody who's out there playing as hard as they can, who knows their instrument, learn their instrument back and forth, and who, is playing so hard that they play the wrong notes, those are the players I want to listen to. Okay. Well, oh goodness gracious, I went 2 hours. Good for me. All right. Well, I'm a little toxic, I suppose. I put the link out there 2 times. Nobody wanted to come and hang out. A friend of mine led one of Noriega's favorite bands. He got free healthcare. Oh my god. And stayed in nice hotels. Yeah. I wonder how his playing progressed over those years. Did he get better or worse as a result of not being all that hungry as his fellow players? I wonder. Interesting. Well, thank you so much for sharing those insights about the cello and the bass and the viola and the violin. That was really interesting, Ed Topo. Thank you for being here. And thank you, Grass, always for hanging out and being around, man. I appreciate you. And thanks for the kind comments and for listening and encouraging the piano playing. And Yvonne bringing the red game, talking about the Pogues, talking about red turntables. Oh, Grass is still making an RSD video. Oh, you guys got to go check out. Oh God, what's his name? Is it John Cage? Who is it? What's his name? John Cage, the contemporary composer who, Grass made a great video about 433, I think it's called. Like a really interesting conceptual video, unlike anything that I've ever seen in YouTube VC land. Very cool video. If you guys aren't following Grasshopper, go follow him. He's making interesting content, not like anybody else in the VC. I think very original idea there. Oh no, Now Spinning TV, Sean, thank you for being here. Every time I see your name pop up in my notifications, I'm like, oh, I needed a really wonderful comment like that. Thank you always. Yeah, Mazzy dropped in to say hello. Like, corrected me on some John Cale thing. That was very nice. And yeah, somebody must have been playing bass in the middle eras. Who was playing bass in the Velvets? I'd like to know the chronology of the bass players in the Velvets. How did that exactly work? That was a fun little topic. I'm just scrolling back here. Miscellaneous 0777 was here. Thank you for being here. OJC's was in the house. Shout out to my friend Hamid, who runs the shop Edo. Yeah, it was a good little posse hanging out here. I appreciate you guys being here. Make sure I got everybody. Mazzy dropped in. OGCs. Ninja Cat Matt left a lot of good comments. Ninja Cat Matt always brings some good vibes and good music takes. TMA Taylor, thank you for being here earlier. That was a nice little Toto talk. Toasted onions. Dang it. I never figured it out. I know who you are, Toasted Onions. I'm going to figure it out. It's time for bed. Okay, and Wyoming Dave dropped in. Good to see you too, Wyoming Dave, if you hung out. All right, let me just, I think that's everybody. Any last words? Thank you. I wanted to do an example in real time with that John Cage piece. Yeah, it was very interesting. Oh, Happy Go Lucky in the house. Happy Go Lucky dropping in. We're just wrapping up the stream here. I'm going to call it a night. Thank you guys once again. If you wouldn't mind, smash the like button, sub up if you're not already subbed, and go leave a nice comment. Go leave like a really nice comment on somebody's video. Go like leave a comment that like overly nice, like just like lean into it. Go leave a really nice comment on somebody's video, please. I implore you. Something that will catch them off guard and that will make them, wow, like really lift them up. That would make me really, really happy if you would do that. Okay. If you're a Tokyo Record Style homie, you're on the members thing. I'm going to stream tomorrow morning back to the regular schedule. I'll have a morning stream. If you want to get connected up with the record homies, we have like a really, really groovy thing happening over on Discord that you can write to me about and I can tell you about. It's really cool. And only cool kids can come hang out there. Only the cool kids. That's the only thing. It's a little exclusive in that way. And there's a grasshopper. There's a sleepwalker. There's another one right here. And anything else? Blue Identity. It's around there somewhere. Bob Marley. Okay. Peace out. Peace. All right.